GM, happy July 1st, everyone. Welcome to another Senpi Vibe Trading session. My name's Alex. I'm part of the Senpi team. We vibe trade live stream pretty much every day here on X, Twitch, and YouTube. I use these usually about an hour block to trade using Senpi, which is my AI-powered autonomous trading tool built fully here on base. And I just use the tool as I would any other day. So we do research, we build trading groups, we set up autonomous trading strategies, and if we're really lucky, depending on how the chain is, how busy things are today, maybe we'll catch a trade live on stream. And when that happens, typically, I'll flash we caught a live one. We'll jump into the trade together. Right now I'm actually just letting Senpi do all the trading, so I won't be touching it, but we have take profits and stop losses in place on all the trades. So whether it goes up, whether it goes down, Senpai is going to handle business for us. In today's 45-minute session, we're going to be walking through a few things. We're going to walk through some exciting new updates coming this week to Senpai that are going to make it really easy for you to find the best traders, the best strategies, and immediately just one-click them into your AI agent. This is something a lot of folks have asked for. We're really excited to ship it. Want to make sure we get it right. It's live on our test server now as the team is working on it, but I'm going to walk you guys through it. It's something I'm really excited about. Obviously, I like doing the research part, but there's a lot of folks that just log in and they want to click. They want to get their AI agent started, and that's really going to help get that ignition sequence underway. So that's one thing we're going to walk through. We're going to talk through some of our awesome trades from last week. Last week, we hit a couple great ones. And when I say we, I just mean Senpai did based on the marching orders I've given her. So we'll walk through those. We'll do a little talking through, what happened and why. And then I'm going to spend a little bit of time on our current strategies, some things that we're seeing working, some things I really want to refine. It's this for me as someone that's doing all the research and really, testing the edges of the product, doing a lot of experimental stuff, which is why I always caution people, if you see my agent wallet, maybe don't copy trade me because I am catching a lot of awesome trades, but I'm also doing a lot of really experimental stuff. So this isn't financial advice. Do your own research and trade responsibly. So let's get started with it. We're going to go through a quick crash course on Senpai. This is a great, refresher for folks that are already familiar with the tool. If you've never used Senpai before, it's the first time you're seeing us. Maybe it's the first time you've seen this live stream. This will be a refresher on how things work. So
To get things started, when you log into Senpai.ai, you'll be able to log in using Privy. You can choose Google, X, Farcaster, popular wallets like Rainbow and Rabby, MetaMask, etc. There's pretty much something there for everyone. It takes under 30 seconds to log in, sign up, and set up. You'll get an agent wallet that you'll approve at the start. This is just a smart wallet, meaning you're never going to see TXs. All the transactions happen seamlessly, and it's the magic that allows Senpai to automatically trade for you while you're AFK, you're out touching grass, you're away from your devices. That's one of the great benefits of Senpai, and we're going to talk through a lot of that. But the bottom left of your screen here, you're going to see your agent wallet. Once you've set it up, you'll have an OX address you can easily copy. Expand button will open it up like a lot of conventional wallets. You see all the tokens in there. There's a lot of shrapnel in my wallet right now. You can see transactions, your balance in ETH, as well as total balance. Of course, you can refresh. You can reveal private key. I'm not going to do that today. I've seen people do that on live stream before. And then, just to get a bit of the lay of the land, the interface here, you have your pre-baked prompts to get you started on a bunch of different things kind of sitting in the middle of the screen. The first time you log in, you will have a sequence. If you click this top button, it's kind of a get started with Senpai, and it'll take you through this really great user flow from some initial research, building a group, building a trade around it, all happening kind of in this onboarding flow that our front end team created. I think it's really great. I recommend doing it if it's your very first time. The top right of your screen, you'll see the dojo. This is a link to our team's Telegram. You'll see me flash a QR code a few times on screen throughout the stream. This is just to bring you in there. We have 700 and just about 750 traders in there today, and we share alpha. We talk about strategies that are working. We do a lot of product feedback. So a lot of the community folks will chime in on things they want to see, and it helps our team build a better Senpai product. So definitely recommend joining that if you're brand new, especially if you're using Senpai, you need to be in there. We have a new chat button. This just, if you ever hit an error or something that is unexpected, try the new chat button. It's the equivalent of blowing in the N64 cartridge, if you're familiar. But it's a great way to just reset things in the chat. Top left, you have a couple different things here. So you've got Senpai button will bring you back to kind of your Senpai homepage. You've got your chat history, which is just your specific chat history with Senpai. And then you have skills and templates. And these are one of the magic things about Senpai. The skills are actually built on Eliza OS open source plugins. This makes Senpai kind of infinitely extendable. So if we have a verticalized crypto product or someone has an existing Eliza OS plugin, they can come plug this right into Senpai with very little effort, which just means a new capability, a new ability here for Senpai. You see things like autonomous trading, limit orders, profit and loss, wallet duster, tutorials, trending tokens. There's kind of everything that you can do with Senpai in here. I recommend, if it's your first time, taking a second to read through these, because when you click into something like autonomous trading, you see all of these different capabilities and notes. You see some rich conversation starters here. These are things that are going to help you understand how and all of these different abilities that Senpai has work together. So do recommend taking a second to read through those. There's lots there, so I'm not going to go through it all here just in this crash course. You have referrals. This is where anyone that you've referred in using your unique Senpai link here, anyone that comes into the platform using that link, you'll get credit for them joining, which means 25% of their fees in perpetuity. This is a really awesome program. If you've got a Telegram callers group that you share alpha with, maybe it's just a group of friends that you guys trade base Memecoins together, invite them into Senpai, get the rewards. You can share to Farcaster X, make it really easy to copy and share this. We're going to be continuing to add different things into this referral program as we grow. Groups, which I'll be spending a lot of time on today. If you've seen any of our live streams, I spend a lot of time editing my groups. These are just cohorts of users that I built different strategies around. We have Hunting Alpha, we've got Raiders Lost Arb, which is one of my main groups. Ignore some of these numbers. We're still going through a bit of an update process here and how we calculate them. Obviously, when you get a token that maybe has a weird liquidity setup or there's no liquidity, it might hyperinflate the token's value in a wallet and you see some off numbers. But team's working hard on that. We're going to spend some time in here today, specifically strategies. These are all of the different strategies that we have live today in Senpai. So things like, buy $25 worth of tokens. If any one person in my Raiders Lost Arb group buys a token, spending a minimum of 3,000. And then, there's a take profit, there's a stop loss in place, and Specifically, the token has between 20K and $250,000 in market cap for me to be interested in buying it. I'll talk a little bit through the strategy, why I've set these up the way I have, and we're going to be doing a little bit of refinement today as well. Lastly, you have orders. Orders is where all of your open orders live. And I do believe, right when we started the stream here, about 6 minutes ago, uh, we actually got bought into a token, Zaply. Now, luckily, this token, judging by the chart shape, not very great. This is the way it is sometimes. We're trading meme coins here. But thankfully, my stop losses just took me out immediately. So I took a $2 loss, $2 loss, and almost a $4 loss. This is great, right? Like I would never have exposure to this token. Stop losses take me out at the right time, allows me to get more shots on net. The thing with trading meme coins, and I reiterate this on a lot of the live streams, it really is like early stage investing, right? You need to, if you take 10 bets, two of them are going to pay off the eight losers, multiple times over. And it's just how do you maximize those winners, minimize the losers, and stop losses has been an amazing tool that we've shipped to help with that. So something I'm really excited about. You can see on the far right column under automation rule what actually triggered these, right? And D62D is a great trader. Raiders is my group that I built specifically for early entry into base meme coins. So helps me get in early, and then I'm able to, for the most part, just let Senpai take profit and manage the trade. And we'll talk through a couple from the previous week that did really well. Subcategory in here is your limit orders. So for example, like I had a limit order that filled here. You have a lot of canceled ones. These are either me trading them automatically or stop loss hit. Probably a mix, but for the most part, I'm trying to just let Senpai do all the work these days. Last thing, you got light mode. If you're one of those deranged people that doesn't like dark mode, that's up to you. That's your choice. I don't judge you much. But let's jump into it. So the thing I'm most excited about right now, this is something our community's been asking for. Something we've been really focused on building for a while. If I switch over to our UAT server here, I like that our UAT server is just like slightly darker. It helps me discover what's what. And speaking of discover, that is the feature I'm really excited about. So in our Senpai platform, in the Senpai experience, very shortly, you can see here, you have order strategies, groups, referrals. Very shortly, we have a discover tab coming. This will be something that you'll be able to click into and immediately see groups made by other folks in the Senpai ecosystem that are doing really great. So we can see test one here with Gopi. There's only one individual in it. Yep, and has a 91% win rate. You'll be able to filter these by ROI, top P&L, and then slice it up by time too. For example, if I'm looking for folks that are really crushing it this week, well, we've got a bunch of really great groups here built by a mix of what looks like our team as well as some folks from the community. The OmniFi group here at the top has a 2x ROI over this time period, nearly $20,000 P&L, and a just sub 60% win rate. And we're going to add in this scam rate is just a way to tell, like, have they bought any nefarious tokens, right? This is a way to manage some risk when you're actually going in and copying these. One of the best parts of this is I can go in, set my quick copy strategy. We could change, this to $10. We could say one person in the group buys at least 500. We could add two. We could say within 2 minutes of each other. We could, add in market cap filters. So like we want token market caps that are under 50,000, and then sell. We want to take profit at 25%, but also keep our stop loss at 18%. We hit save, and that's live. So making it really, really easy to find out who's winning. And there's not really much subjectivity to this. This is on-chain data. We're looking at actual P&Ls based on folks' trading behavior. We're looking at the win rate based on those trades, how many trades they've taken. Like obviously, when you look at something like this, you have to do a little bit of just grokking what you're looking at. And when you see 31,000 trades, there's a level of automation, a bot in there. That might not be for you. For me, I like very specific strategies, and those are mirrored in my groups. But I will say, and I might show this again as more folks join. Typically, we get a lot of folks joining after the 20, 30-minute mark of the stream. So you might see me pull this back up. I'll talk a little bit more about it, just how it works in terms of functionality and why it's going to be so impactful. But expect this live, early this week. We're really excited about it. We're almost there on it. So, everyone that's been kind of waiting for it, your patience is appreciated, and the feedback to help us build it's been huge. So let's jump into it. Let's talk about a couple of the trades that we took last week. Obviously, with this one we just took, we lost $4 or $5. But again, this is a great trader that I think actually triggered some of the big wins that we're going to walk through last week. So the first one, Spice Must Flow. I know it says a loss here, but let's pop this up quick. We have the chart open. So I think I was actually on a call when this happened, but we bought super early. And when we go back to, let's just go back to what triggered that. So 425D triggered it, which is one of our traders in Raiders Lost ARB. We bring this back up. So one of the nice things about Senpi is like being able to click in here, see your buys, see your sells on a chart. Honestly, obviously, we would have loved to rip the top off here, but I was on a call when this triggered and then when it sold. And you can see my two buys for collectively $25, a sell for just about 50. So we had a 100% gain there. And then we bought 19 and we lost $4 on the other end. And this triggered separately from another rule. We're working on adding like a negative token value. So you could say, hey, don't buy this token again for me. That sometimes is like a habit that you might want. But honestly, like I also think that I have groups that a specific group Raiders Lost ARB. So if I go back to the way we were looking at this before, you can see Raiders triggered this twice there. And then one more time here, he rebought the dip. So I'm actually fine with that. Like I have groups to get me in early on trades. I have groups that I actually follow because they're smart traders. They buy dips, they swing trade, they see gaps in the market. And while I'm speaking, it does look like we are getting bought in on a trade. So let's go take a peek at that in real time and just see what's going on. And again, so like forewarned, what I'm doing, all this stuff's very experimental. We're in on Goblin. We're in for looks like it triggered a couple different parts of my ladder strategy. What we're going to do is drop into the 1 second candles here on DEX just to take a look at it. I'm hoping that we're not getting nuked, but we got in super early. And let's take a look here. Where are we? So it looks like D62D. You know what? This might be a trader that I was going to remove from my group, and I think no, this is all right. All right. Well, we've got stop losses open on it. It's looking like he bought and dumped it, and our stop loss is triggered alongside it. So this is a good use case, right? Like, look, this guy aped into it with an ETH. We copy traded, so we were the first TXs after him right there. And because of that, and because of our stop losses, this $14, we lost $1. We lost about $2, and we lost a few on this one. So, we got action on it. We lost a couple and we're out. And now if we go back to our Senpi page here, just give it a refresh. Go back to our orders. We'll see the stop losses have executed. And we'll see the total amounts here. Again, this is a trader that D62D. If we go down to continuing on that thread of reviewing some of our previous trades, where are we here? Hopefully he didn't trigger us on that. I know he brought me into a trade last week that was really great. And I just want to review it quickly. We have a lot of trades kicking off, clearly. 452D. Maybe it wasn't him. Offside. Yeah, it was. Okay. So here we have offside, which you can see the trader that just bought us into that trade. So this one, where, not great, but we were the first TXs in, first TXs out after him. So we didn't really lose much. He arbitraged what looks like this person's buy here, which then made him some money. So he went in for 2,400. He was out for 25. Fair game. He triggered us here on offside. And if we pull up this chart, we hammered this chart. This was, a $25 buy, out for 13, out for 60, in for 14, out for 30, out for 11, out for 5. So huge gain. And again, this one pays off that $8 loss we just had, many, many times over. And we're hitting enough of these that it's becoming profitable. So the stop losses keep us in, minimize our losses. And then we keep riding the big ones as best we can and adjusting things so that our take profits make sense with the types of buys that we're getting pulled into. Um, Let me just pull up. And also, if you see me monitoring, I have Telegram notifications set up for Senpi. So anytime Senpi buys a token for me, I get a notification. Um, the other one that I'm looking at is Fair. So Fair was last week's that was triggered by Ways Anatomy is really smart traders. And I said, if any, two of them from that group of about 20 or so buy a token with a minimum purchase amount of 1,500 within 3 minutes of each other, take profit, uh, put a stop loss, and the market cap's got to be under $1 million. And we had a really nice win here. And this was also, I was fully AFK for this. It was a take profit triggering. Again, I think I set my take profit a little too early because even, from where within a couple days, I would have made more money. But again, this is fully autonomous. Like I had no hand in this. We made $10, $11. And obviously it could have been, we could have 2 to 3x, but that's on me to set better take profits. And one of the things that we're working on right now, specifically around that, is dynamic take profits. So if we go to my strategies right now, you'll see this kind of analog ladder strategy in place. So saying buy $10 of a token, buy 15, buy 20, buy 25, and this scales based on the amount that the individual in the group buys. So it's kind of like pseudo dynamically scaling based on their conviction level, because I know how much these guys spend on tokens, and they're all winning traders. What we're going to be having very shortly is, sell 20% when the token's up 25%, sell another 20% when it's up 50%, sell the rest when it's up 150%. So you'll be able to build all of that in, and then maximize your profit taking versus right now we still have the take profits are very very gradual, and they're set up in this ladder format. So we'll have a lot better strategy capabilities with dynamic take profits. So we've bought in on 2 trades on the stream so far. Neither were winners. That's okay. It's a numbers game in Memecoins. So we'll continue to kind of monitor notifications coming in here, and we'll start doing a little bit of research as I want to start editing some of our rules together. So again, research on Senpi, it's totally free to set up. It takes under 30 seconds. You can do really high quality research with Senpi. And the most important part for me is that research is integrated into the tool, the execution environment. So, you can go click and name any dozen, crypto websites to look at like trending based tokens. But I'll show you how I use Senpi to go top level base tokens trending. We dive a little bit deeper into the P&L of an interesting token. We start peeling back on that P&L and say, okay, this trader made an interesting amount of money. What else have they done? We'll look at their P&L, and then we'll start peeling back their individual trades. And pretty quickly we can find really, really good traders. I mean, traders that are repeating early token wins over and over and over. Those are the types of traders that I want for, one of my groups. Maybe I'll find a trader that, is aping in but making great returns because he's buying at the right time. That might fit another group. There's different like classifications for me on the behavior end, and then that kind of helps me assign them to different groups. You see Senpai spitting out kind of the trend. I will say base chain super quiet the last 72 hours. Obviously, like some exciting stuff going on in crypto. We have tokenized stocks hitting. That's all really interesting. I feel like a lot of the conversation has been focused around that, both on Farcaster and CT. Overall, like looking at DeFi Llama yesterday, like June 28th was one of the slowest days on base in like the last year. Just in terms of unique transactions, DEX volume. Like I look at these things kind of daily, just to understand the pulse how strong things are feeling. I mean, overall, the macro environment seems healthy. Bitcoin's holding great levels. Ethereum's up. Like it's, um, a lot of great stuff happening, which makes me feel like we're in this sort of super cycle. But meme coins just seem to be a bit sleepier right now. So you're not getting those, everyday multiple runners, super asymmetrical up and down all over the place. It is really a slower opportunity flow, but there's still lots there. And it's tools like Senpi that help you access it. Let's jump into a couple of these tokens. So I like to take a look at this and see, hey, is there any tokens I don't recognize? Obviously, dogging me. Virtual drove a lot of the meta over the last month or two on base. There's some stuff that's just not uninteresting to me. I mean, Bracky's always interesting, but I'm looking for something a little bit newer. Um, and even with this, we'll take a look at. We'll pull up some PNL for dogging me, which is pretty iconic, base meme coin. Take a look there to start. And I feel good about being out of this. You could still see people from here onward kind of like straggling out. Someone actually bought late. But the fact is, like, our stop losses made sure we were the first TXs out after the dump. We lost a minimal amount of money and allows us to take more shots. And, to lose $4 or $5 to go access that 10 to 50x return. That's really my goal with some of these groups. And so we'll take a look at that P&L, and then we're going to dig. We'll go a little bit wider. We'll probably do a 7-day. A lot of this is like less interesting to me in terms of identifying traders. I'm looking for tokens that have run in the last week, so I can figure out like who was early in the first buyers. Were they really just good snipers, or what's their setup? And then from there, we dig into have they been repeating it, and if there's a certain level of that consistency and how they're doing, we add them to a group. We build strategy around the group, and yeah, it's a pretty good research to execution flow that I've been working on. It seems to work really well. Obviously, when we have Discover live, which is this, again, this is our UAT server for anyone that's new. So it's not live in production yet, but will be very shortly. You'll be able to come in here and click right into really any Senpi users groups if they're performing well and end up at the top of this leaderboard. Maybe some of mine end up there. You can go copy them. And we're working on a bunch of ways that you can share, click, copy, make it just really easy and shareable, that whole group's experience. If you've got friends that you share alpha with, you'll be able to do that. Uninteresting result here. So let's keep digging. We'll go a little bit wider on that. And while that happens, I'm just going to flash up a QR code on your screen right now. It's a couple things. One, if you're using Senpi, make sure you scan this QR code. Join the dojo. It's our team's official Telegram. It's a great place to interact with myself. Our entire team lives in there. We're monitoring everything. We share alpha groups. Every week we run a Senpi trading competition. We've given out, I want to say, over 3,500 USDC so far in prizes. We have prizes for best net gain by an AI agent, the best percentage gain. We do daily trader prizes if you trade over at least $100 in volume. There's just a lot of great ways that you can earn some extra money while using Senpi. And we track everything live, transparently in a Dune dashboard, so you can see how you're doing against other folks. You can see other people's biggest trades. Really easy, really fun way to use the product, but also enter yourself to win some cool prizes. We'll be starting off trading competition number 4 later this week with the launch of Discovery. We wanted to ship it alongside the new tools. That way folks get this new feature and then can use it right away in the trading competition. So while I'm yapping here, we got the 7-day trend, zero knowledge onboarding. I don't know what that is. And so when I see something that I just don't recognize, that's at least over $1 million market cap, we'll dig in, get the token details. I like to see the chart shape myself, just to see, like, based on how old it is, what is it doing, and then we'll actually go into the P&L of it. So we have a token address here. We can see it's really slow. My guess is it's dumping off, but let's see. I just don't know what the token is. This might be. I don't know what I'm looking at here, but probably not something just based on that I would go further into research on. Um, let's drop into. We'll grab Kaido because I actually haven't researched Kaido. Let's go top P&L for Kaido. We'll dig into that. And I'm just checking the notifications, checking the stream chat. I mean, if there's anything you guys want me to double click on, research a token, have a trader, whatever it is, Senpai has all the tokens on base, all the traders. Really easy for me to go look at, like, show me top P&L for, at Kazi. And it'll resolve all of these different traders. I can go find more users on base. It's just super simple to pull this all in. But let's take a look at Kaido here. At the top couple here look probably automated based on trade volume, or sorry, number of transactions. A lot of whales moving in and out. Still not really what I'm looking for. We'll let that fill out, and we're gonna go to just do like a general base pull. We'll drop the 24-hour and just curious. Is there anything that I've missed? I was sick yesterday, so I was kind of out of touch with what was going on in the chain. And, Fair is a token I would dig into. This is an agentic venture experiment, I would say, going on Farcaster. Saw different reactions to it. I think generally it's pretty cool. I like people that are trying new things that are difficult. Let's just go show me top, for Fair. And remember, when you're looking up tokens on tokens users groups, let's walk through that quick. We're using Senpai to look up tokens. You're going to want to use a $sign. You can import the OX, copy paste it. You'll be able to come and click it. It'll resolve into kind of a blue plain text, or go, type it in plain text. And we're data proofing this with the holders, the market cap, the creation date, or TGE. Click into it, you get to the same kind of conclusion of resolve blue. For users, you saw me look up Kazi earlier. You just use an @ symbol. Super easy. We have every Farcaster ENS, base name, all this stuff on base. Really easy to go resolve that. And then for groups, we use a hashtag system. So, for example, if I want to look up Raiders of the Lost Arb, click it, same story, turns blue. We could go into my Gway's Anatomy group, click it, and it's there. So really easy. Just quick run through on how tagging works, just to make sure that you never select the wrong token, you never select the wrong user. I love the data proofing component of it. I think it's really useful. And let's take a look at Fair here. So this is pretty interesting, actually. There's a handful of traders that have these one early buy and then clipped out pretty much the entire stack. It's pretty typical. These are pretty good gains, though. Taking 47 to 32, 4,700 to 32. Let's take a look here. Just every time we see a bunch of Telegram notifications come in, we got to take a look, make sure Senpai hasn't bought us into something that we can't jump into. So I actually expected to see more Farcaster names higher up this list. Because if they have a Farcaster name and ENS a base name, we will resolve it out on the left side here. So you see Zhao, you see this is an OX, ironhog.eth, he's got an ENS. But 11 to 58, so I just click the blue here and automatically, it says show, it deploys it into the chat for me. It's really easy. This is this research flow I go through when I'm trying to find smart money traders. And again, some people rotate, and on OX addresses, it can be difficult to trade and follow them. There's a lot of people that use social linked accounts to trade. For me, there's a bit of a reputation layer that comes along with that, which is why like we have so much social fabric in the product. And it's only going to get deeper and more robust. But when I can click into someone that I recognize, like Ironhog.Heat, I don't know if I've seen you around Zao. I feel like I've seen you on Farcaster, but there's a handful, a lot of accounts that I recognize, and that helps me trade. It's really interesting. So this user traded two Farcaster tokens incredibly early with fair looking like they took 135 cells. That makes me think they use like a TWAP, a time weighted average price. Yeah. Um, and Noise, they bought one and sold out, just four cells. But so what I could do from here uh, is add user to new group called Tuesday Research. Just gonna add this user to a new group called Tuesday Research. And 1 6. Very interesting. Okay, so Tuesday Research Group's been set up. Let's jump into that. We'll just jump into here. I just want to see how early they actually got in. So I've been thinking about building a Farcaster specific snipers group, and we need to edit the. Okay, so I grabbed the wrong address. That's all right. We'll come back to this. Grab the right one. Jump into the maker here. Clear. All right, nothing there either. Do I have two Tuesday research groups somehow? Hmm. There we go. I believe this is what we were looking for. Yep. All right. So, for me right now, I'm assessing how do I build a specific Farcaster Snipers group. The reason for this is I have my this group, which is Raiders Lost Arb. These guys are early on pretty much everything, but a lot of non-Farcaster tokens specifically feel like they miss a lot of the Farcaster tokens. This is because Farcaster tokens, a lot of them launch in the feed on Farcaster before they bleed into CT. There's a bit of a compute time for people to get in on it, and I was able to front run a lot of different people on Fair. We bought in probably see their buying price. Yeah, we bought in actually before this person on Fair. So it's hard to say if they would be a good fit, but if I could stack up two or three people that are consistently early on these Farcaster specific tokens, that gives me pretty good entry into like a Farcaster specific group. One of the nice things too is I could probably do a lot of like reputational stuff. So make sure that they're, users who I know who they are. Yeah, it's really interesting. So they actually held this token for from launch 4 days 5 days before they even started selling, and then they went at it. Hard to say if these are manual or they're using a TWAP or some other automated exit strategy. I know that's something that we're looking at as well, as adding TWAPs in. So if you want to exit and get kind of optimal exit pricing and do it in a way that doesn't wreck the chart in a single clip, variety of reasons why you might want to use TWAPs. But yeah, you can see this person started and kind of didn't stop, and it looks like they're pretty much out now. So they did well on this, obviously. 47 into, if we go back to, if we go back to their P&L, they made 32K on that. Let's check out what they did on Noise. Were they that early on Noise as well? I actually don't know. Well, we could go here. That is correct. Noise under 5 million market cap, and we'll grab here, drop there in. All right. All right, so this one, they were a little quicker to get out, 1,200 in, and let's just take a look at where we're on 1 hour candles. So within the first hour of launch, they were in, and they held sub-million. They took a 10x plus, obviously, based on their sells. Here they created some red candles for folks with the two big sells, 11 and 5. Like this, let's start building this group now. I do like these traders. So we're going to go add. So we just go like this. And we're going to start building up some folks that are consistently early on these tokens. For anyone that joined late, I see that we've had a bunch of new folks in the last couple minutes. Discover will be launching shortly this week. This is this is on our test server. Be able to come to Senpi, go to your left-hand bar, see Discover, click into this, and then go and quickly find top P&Ls, top ROI, top win rate groups that other folks in Senpi have built. You can slice this up by 1 day, by 7 day, by 30 day, and then right here you'll be able to copy and go configure all your quick kind of copy settings. So buy $10 if any 3 people in this group buy at least 2,500 of a token within 2 minutes of each other. The market cap's got to be under 5,000, 50,000. We could add token age, and the token's got to be less than 1 day old. Set take profit at 150%, and sell it if it drops by 18 using a stop loss. And obviously we're in test server here. It's still working, but pretty cool. I'm excited for that to launch. Okay, so while I was yapping, we have, and anytime you set up a new group, you'll get these pretty cool strategy suggestions. So auto buy plus minus market cap plus combo sell. So you'll be able to see different strategies just shown to you, which I think are really useful as well. We can come in here and edit these, just kind of like what we were doing in the quick copy, but in this full text version, because it's in the chat interface. We could hit go, and that would be in motion. But going into our groups, we have a new group, Farcaster Snipers. This is our first user. So now to continue this thread of research, I'd probably start looking at more Farcaster tokens. We'd say show top P&L for noise. And we'll pull that up. We'll see if we get any more buys here. Senpai took us in 2 early ones. Already, that is interesting to me. So, like, if I see above a 10x, that's an immediate, let's do some research, figure out, is it a market maker? Is it the team? Is it, try to identify, is this an average trader that's doing this? And then quickly figuring out, have they done it again? And if so, how many times? And what types of tokens? You kind of got to have a little bit of a sense for, what tokens are out there, the different types, and how they, what their chart shapes look like, different market caps, and you get a bit of a sixth sense for it. But still learning lots. I don't try to do TA on Memecoins. I think it's kind of nonsense. So you're not going to see me doing like, this token is accumulating here and, drawing Fibonacci's on a chart. It doesn't make sense for Memecoins to me, but I do like to look at where the smart money is, where it's moving, and then figuring out how can my AI agent make the most of those opportunities, protect my downside, and do it in a way that I don't have to be at my device. Senpai is really like the ability to talk to your wallet. You think about wallets conventionally for the last however long since they've been invented, they've just been capsules for your currency. And with Senpai, you have a wallet that understands what's in it. It understands and can learn about what you're trading. Eventually, it'll be this is the type of risk that you'll like to take and make suggestions. That's the future we're moving towards pretty quickly. So pretty exciting. Right, one up here. Uh, okay, so we pulled up his P&L or theirs. I mean, some automated stuff going on here. This is buy transactions, sell transactions, just too high to be an individual, I think. Not to mention this, like Coinbase Bitcoin 14,000. So scratch that one off our list. And we'll move into PCB. And this is a user I've seen around. I like that it's an ENS, something we can track to some reputation. We'll take a look at, they did pretty well on the noise token. They were in for 40, out for 113, over 100% gain, well over. That's on 9 buys with just 3 sells. Curious to see the size of those candles, but let's take a dive into their P&L. And there's some more interesting tokens here that I would probably beat around. I find like Senpai has this, when it's delivering you tokens and traders in the research, it's almost like a Spotify radio feature where it's like, oh, I see this token that is initially very interesting to me. And then digging into the traders, I see like 10 more tokens that are typically, for a lot of the time, they're aligned or similar in some way, at least in the fact that they're maybe base Memecoins or maybe they're a Farcaster token, whatever it is, depending on the token that you start with. And you can go through this research flow, going token to token, looking for more of these traders. Looks like Noise was their biggest trade by a long shot. They've done well. USB, curious. Spawn 7 to 18 on 5 and 3. Okay. Well, I don't know if I would add this user into. Are we still got the noise chart up? Let's go show top P&L. So we'll just keep digging through. This user probably not what I'm looking for. They're again, I'm specifically looking for folks that are kind of sniping Farcaster tokens to add them to our groups. In this case, it's probably not enough data to go off of, but also not enough of the kind of prolific Farcaster runners that I am specifically looking for and what we found in the last trader. That's okay. Let's take a look here. Still no more new buys. All right. A couple of these are interesting. Not bad. Okay, so we're finding a couple here that we'll continue to dig into. Again, we're looking for folks to add to our newly created group. Farcaster snipers. We've got one added so far. He's the one added into Tuesday research. This user's done great job sniping tokens. We walked through a couple of our trades from earlier in the week. We took a couple trades on stream. They were all, small losers. You can see Senpai's doing a great job blocking some tokens from us. So before you ever take a trade, Senpai will analyze the trade, check if it's a honeypot, if there's a nefarious liquidity setup or some other mechanic in the contract that you just don't want to buy it because it's a rug or a honeypot or whatever it is. So Senpai, the Scam Shield product, our team's constantly working on it. It's in kind of a V3 moving into a V4 phase where I would say we're fine tuning it. So less false positives. It's blocking all the right tokens. I feel really good about it. It is another one of those features that allows me to take more trades and rest that I'm not going to get rugged. So we walked through, a couple of our winning trades like Spice that we took last week. You can see, bought really early. Wish we sold top, but hey, this is fully autonomous, no human intervention in that. We looked through, what else did we look through together? We looked through last week's trade on Offside, which was another huge winner. Offside looks like it's kind of clawing back up, but mostly a dead chart. You can see we bought pretty much as early as you can get on this token. It launched at 2031. We were in at 2036. So 5 minutes later, we were in and we ripped the top off with some big sells and, just did great on a token. So again, Senpai going to work for us, getting us into a token that has big upside without us having to sit chart watch, feed watch, just like really being totally disengaged, and Senpai doing some great trades for us. We also spent some time walking through the new and up and coming Discover feature. This will be released this week, and essentially it's the best strategies, the best groups, all of these things are coming into your Discover feed. You'll be able to just one-click them into your AI agent. You won't have to necessarily do all of the research that you've seen me doing on the stream. I still recommend doing some research, spending some time getting to know some of these things. And we will be coming at you live again. Vibetrading tomorrow. Probably it will be between 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Eastern. I like to spend at least an hour just trading, catching trades that Senpai takes live on the stream, and of course walking through new features, what's coming, and all the new improvements that are constantly being added into the platform. So with that, I'm out. Hope everyone's having a great July 1st, and we will see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. Lastly, when I sign off, you'll see a new QR code on the screen. This QR code will bring you to our team's Telegram. I'd like to flash this a couple times throughout the stream. It's a great place to interact with our team, myself, give us feedback on the product. And there are, almost 750 Senpai traders in there today. We share alpha, we share groups. It is a really awesome community forming. If you want to be a part of it, just scan the QR code on your screen and we'll bring you in. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.